So next up is Rule 13, while tacking. After a boat passes head to wind, she shall keep clear of other boats until she is on a close-hauled course. During that time, Rules 10, 11, and 12 do not apply. If two boats are subject to this rule at the same time, the one on the other's port side or the one astern shall keep clear. So what's important here? Number one, you're bound to keep clear until you are on a close-hauled course. That is the course on which you'd be sailing upwind. You don't have to trim your sails. The last sentence, which is really wordy, means the boat on the right wins. And if you're both tacking, don't hit a transom. So let's take a look at a situation. In this situation, yellow's on starboard, blue's on port, and blue starts their tack pretty late, forcing yellow to head up into the wind to avoid a collision. So yellow alleges that blue broke Rule 13 while tacking. Blue says, we kept clear, we didn't hit each other. So let's look at the definition of keep clear. We've done that a bunch of times, but the right-of-way boat can sail her course with no need to take avoiding action. In this case, yellow had to take avoiding action. Blue did not keep clear from the time she passed head to wind until she was on a close-hauled course as required by the rule. So blue breaks Rule 13. Very straightforward. Blue gets the penalty. Next situation is very similar. In this situation, blue completes their tack, but yellow has to turn up just a little bit to keep clear. Does the fact that it's just a little bit change the scenario in the rules application? Absolutely not. So blue claims she kept clear. Definition of keep clear is no need to take avoiding action, not a little bit of avoiding action. So this, even if it's very slight, is a foul. So again, blue did not keep clear from the time she passed head to wind until she was on a close-hauled course. Blue broke Rule 13, and blue is penalized. So let's take a look on the starting line. We've seen this in the introduction. Happens on the starting line all the time. A boat comes in for a port approach, starts a tack into a hole that exists, and goes straight head to wind to try and slow down and pushes the windward boat higher than they want to go. Is that windward boat, yellow in this case, required to keep clear of blue? So yellow says, no, I don't think I was. You broke Rule 13. Blue says, I kept clear while tacking. I got to the course that I wanted to be on and luffing on the starting line. And then yellow had to change course. So what does Rule 13 say? It says she shall keep clear from the time she passes head to wind until she is on a close-hauled course. Because blue never bore off to the point that she could be on a close-hauled course means that she's still bound to keep clear of yellow. If she wants to be able to luff yellow, she has to turn all the way to that 45-degree close-hauled course, or whatever the pertinent angle is in the class you're sailing, and then turn back up. So blue did not reach a close-hauled course, blue failed to keep clear, and blue is penalized. So let's take a look at the other side of this. In this case, blue tacks and drops her sail right away. Her sail's never filled when she completed the tack. Yellow, coming in on starboard with a big head of steam, says, hey, your sails are luffing, you never got to that close-hauled course. What do you think? Well, let's look at the rule. The rule says she shall keep clear until she is on a close-hauled course. That doesn't mean the sails have to be trimmed. It just means you have to be at the course on the compass that you could trim your sails. So in this case, blue did reach a close-hauled course, even though she was luffing. At that moment, Rule 11, windward leeward applied, not Rule 13. And yellow did keep clear, so there's no penalty. Is this just us being nerds playing word games? Let's take a look at what World Sailing has to say. Case number 17 says, a boat is no longer subject to Rule 13 when she is on a close-hauled course, regardless of her movement through the water or her sheeting of the sails. So they've made it very clear in that casebook that you can tack in on the starting line and luff as long as you get to that close-hauled course. So next we're going to look at what happens if both boats are subject to this at the same time. In this case, blue is reaching, going really fast, and ducks yellow and immediately starts to tack. At that same time, yellow starts to tack, and they come together before either of them has reached a close-hauled course. So let's look at Rule 13. At the end, it says if two boats are subject to this rule at the same time, which they are because they've both crossed head to wind and they are not at a close-hauled course, the one on the other's port side or the one astern shall keep clear. So right now, yellow is on blue's port side. Yellow needs to keep clear. So yellow is penalized. So as a recap, you have to keep clear between head to wind and a close hauled course while you're tacking. It's close hauled, not when your sails are trimmed. And the last sentence means the boat on the right wins. And if your two boats are tacking, don't run into the other one's transom.